What's good, listeners? Joining us on Strike a Chord, our Brooklyn indie emo trio, Wakelee, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Also, check out my latest episode with LA pop rockers, Poe the Passenger, out now on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. And that music podcast is called Off the Fret. But we got Alex with us right now on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. So how's it going, my man?
What's going on, Chris, Marissa? That the intro for the show was amazing.
Yeah, we try.
that made me feel ready.
Hey, well, we got you, fam. But
Love it.
We're talking about some of the current themes that are circulating across the globe. One of the biggest controversies in the music scene, Alex, has been this week, actually, which is Rihanna's Super Bowl 57 halftime show. And do you agree with, Howard Stern saying that Rihanna lip synced 85% of her performance?
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said 85%. Do you agree with that?
I'm sure there was some lip syncing in there. I thought the performance was fine. I was expecting. I thought there would be some.
It was lackluster. Be honest. So fine means we love Riri. We love her.
Yes, of course.
But we were like,
There was no big surprise. I thought there would be some, there was an opportunity for a Jay-Z cameo. I did realize was that I actually love a lot of Rihanna songs.
yes.
When it came out, I was like, oh shit, this song is awesome.
Yeah, maybe if Kanye West wasn't such a jackass, maybe he would have showed up and sang Umbrella with her. But we'll save that for another time. But I kind of felt like the backlash was real, Alex, because I do feel like I'm with Howard Stern. She did lip sync for like 85% of the performance. And why does it feel like with mainstream artists, they are kind of getting away with doing this on like major live televised events? Like, are you cool with that? I mean, is that a good standard to set in the music?
I feel like they do it because they know they can get away with it, and it's just easier for them. I wish I had more of a perspective on it. I bet she did lip sync a bunch of it. I mean, honestly, like if I was ever playing the Super Bowl, I would almost want some sort of like guarantee that
like a pre-recorded track or something of that nature. Because I was going to say, especially in your genre of music, like indie rock, like indie's kind of like, to me, the terminology of being like, we're super raw and authentic. Like when you go and see us live, there is no backing tracks, no pre-recorded tracks. If anything, there might be some ambience that kind of like sets the tone transitioning into the next song. But like, do you feel like when artists use backing tracks or pre-recorded tracks, do you feel like that's a cop-out?
I think it depends. Like, if they're not, the worst is like, there's been like accusations that like Machine Gun Kelly, when he plays guitar and sings, the guitar is like not even plugged in, or like you're fake playing guitar. I think that when you're pretending to play an instrument and it's really not, I guess you can make the argument that like lip syncing is kind of that. That is when it's bad. But like there are some times where you have four people, and like in order to actually sound like your actual song, like you would need some sort of backing track to play, like you said, like a synth or a pad. There's excuses for it, I think.
Some excuses, but in general, it always seems like hip hop and rap and R&B, they tend to get away with it because my personal belief is you don't usually see live instruments on stage, and so like they kind of get away with doing this kind of like karaoke route when they perform live. That's like one of the main reasons why I unfortunately am not buying as much tickets to hip hop shows nowadays, because I just feel like they're just singing over their recorded songs. And with rock and roll, they're always in the limelight, always in the news. And it's kind of unfortunate, but let's talk about you, the band Wakelee, because your identical twin, David, is the drummer in the band, while Elliot Shang is the bassist in the group. And you guys met at a friend's show in New York. So how does Elliot get his voice in when he's dealing with twin brothers? I mean, does he become the voice of reason?
We tell people that Elliot is like the adopted brother. It was like the triplet that went wrong. We try to keep it as as much of a democracy as possible. We met like 3 or 4 years ago at a show, and we just immediately bonded over music, and yeah, we like there was some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Just like spark right away that we like recognized, and yeah, there's never
Yeah,
been.
because when you mentioned that you met each other through like a friend's show, like how does that even go down? Like how do you even start that conversation? Because I know last week, like we were interviewing a band called London's Fallen right here in Los Angeles, and they were talking about, yeah, I posted like something on IG story, and he basically only had like 24 hours to respond, and that's essentially how their trio got started. But how does that even go down? I mean, is he like was Elliot like purposely looking for artists at that
Uh,
show, or were you?
so me and my brother David, we're from New Jersey. We grew up in New York area, and we have a bunch of friends in Brooklyn, and we kind of have like our little web of friends. Whereas Elliot, he is more or less a transplant from Portland, Oregon, and he came here with the hopes to find someone to play music with. We had like a mutual friend who we met at that show, and my brother and I were like really looking to take the next step and try to actually form a band and write some songs. And yeah, we were talking, and he was like, "Oh, I want to record music. I want to go on tour." I was like, "Okay, this guy. What music do you like?" We had like there was definitely a Venn diagram like overlap of music that we liked together, and yeah, we like hit the practice space like the next week, and
That's dope,
great.
man.
Yeah, it was great.
And let's talk about your band name, because depending on like a wide variety of factors, I think of groups like the Beatles, for example. The band name is like a pun to beat. That's why they misspell it, as the insect beetles, bead holes, if you kind of get the pun. So like I went to a very trustworthy source, Alex. I went to Urban Dictionary. I tried to
Okay.
look up Wakelee. I
Well,
have no idea what the hell this is even supposed to mean. So
were
like, where did the inspiration to call yourself this in your group?
were there any results on Urban Dictionary?
Nothing. Absolutely
Uh,
nothing. So I feel like you have a free slate to say whatever the hell you want. And you can start it here on the Chris Collins show.
this is actually a great opportunity, but I wish there was something on Urban Dictionary. I should have that's how I should have found the band name, was to go on Urban Dictionary and
I
just
mean,
hit random or something.
right. Or you
No,
could have gone down the Chat GPT route. You could have asked them like, "Hey, I need a band name." That
yeah,
could have been the thing.
that's how we write all our music is ChatGPT. So
Stop playing. Are you being dead
no,
serious?
no, I'm
I
joking.
was gonna say.
I heard you guys talking about that before.
Yes.
Uh, no, Wakelee. From the town I'm from, New Jersey. There was a field called Wakelee Field, and I think there's like an aspect of like nostalgia to that name. I have like very fond memories there. My brother and I, our favorite thing to do growing up was playing wiffle ball, and that's where we played wiffle ball. And so, just like to us, it's just a very nostalgic name, and also to your point, like pretty clean slate. I really like the name. So yeah, that's where unfortunately there's no Urban Dictionary.
No, I think that's cool, man. It kind of reminds me of, like Mac Miller's LP, Blue Slide Park. There's always like a certain milestone or a certain spot, in your childhood that like always stays true to home to you. And doesn't matter where you are, wherever you are in the world, Wakelee's always going to be that destination, that outlet that brings you peace and calmness. And I know
You need to write their next little intro to the album. That was so good, Chris. Like, Wakelee brings you peace and calm. Please listen. Please
well,
listen.
no, like, no. Yeah. Look, I'm available if you need me, Alex.
I need you for some like copy or something. Give me some.
Absolutely, we got you, fam. It's happening in real time. You don't ever have to use the chat GPT ever again. But you know what? Definitely tends to swing is your music video for your hit track, which is called Mood Rings, and you described this song as, quote, the feeling of not knowing how to feel after something bad happens and the general processing of emotions. So what does that even mean, Alex?
Yeah, I think it's my girlfriend actually has a tendency to call me a tin can sometimes, because I don't know, sometimes I have trouble like just conveying or like sitting with emotions and like processing them. And so like if something bad happens, I have like a thought like, oh, like how am I supposed to feel? Am I supposed to be upset? Am I supposed to be like angry? And so it's just like kind of the general like uncertainty and processing of that. Was that profound enough?
No, well, I've never heard anybody describe themselves as a tin can. I don't know how to take that as like a positive or negative.
I don't. But I understand where she's coming from with that.
It's a negative for all you listeners out there. If a female says you're a tin can, she's saying, bitch, start showing your emotions.
Yeah,
Okay. I am tired of trying to guess what's going on, and I want you to communicate. That's what she's saying. Sorry.
No, you are 100% right.
Am I assuming, Alex, that your girlfriend, your love partner, got you a mood ring?
No, she did not. I don't think I've ever.
That's a pretty good gift, though. That's a pretty good gift.
That is a good gift.
That could be pretty cool merchandise for Wakelee. You know, I know a lot of artists are always kind of grappling with, print costs when it comes to shirts and etc. Might be kind of cool to get a Wakelee.
I might have to give that. I might have to give this to my brother. Actually, it's really funny. His birthday's today, and he's also a tin can. And I just have to give him a mood ring.
Who would have thought that this would have just sparked so much interest? This is post love for y'all after Valentine's Day. Wakelee's got you set up to set the tone. So just make sure that your mood ring's constantly moving in constant motion. But let's go ahead and have some fun. We have the music video here live on Strike a Chord. So this is Wakelee's song, Mood Rings, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. That is Wakelee's music video, Mood Rings, and this is Strike a Chord, where if you physically or digitally pick up that record, you're going to know these tracks, and we got the vocalist and guitarist with us right now. That is Alex. Do not get that confused with this identical twin, David, who is on the drums right there. I kind of like that little move you got going on.
I know.
Yeah,
Hey,
I saw you moving that.
Has your girlfriend ever mistaken your brother for you?
Uh-oh. That's why they need a mood ring. One needs to wear one, and then the other one doesn't, right?
Right. Yeah, probably. She just probably didn't say it. Yeah, he also has a girlfriend, and I think she's definitely confused us a couple times before.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. What if he's like, man, dude, I got work like super late at night. I promised to take her out at 7:00. Like, could you cover for me, David? Could you take her out? Nothing too much.
Not too much. Are you drawing boundaries? Hey, can you take out my girlfriend, but don't fuck her?
I wasn't trying to be that specific, but I was trying to get there, I guess, Marissa.
No, I mean, I would love to enjoy a nice meal with.
I'm just fucking with you, Alex. We don't mean to put you on the spot like that, but you know what? Hey,
funny.
this is the Chris Kyle Show, and that's what we love to do. And Alex, you've been a great sport. That's an amazing track, and I know that it's important to set expectations from the beginning, and so that everyone knows what is expected from them. And am I correct by saying that Wakelee has a debut LP coming out this spring?
That's we just announced it today.
Congrats.
Yeah,
so what's the title of the album?
It's actually self-titled. It's just Wakelee.
Okay, that's cool.
Which is a little frustrating because I spent like the last 7-8 years trying to come up with cool album names on my phone, and I had a huge list just to come up with, end up with self-titled.
So why did you go down that route?
You obviously didn't
strange.
ask Chat GPT for album names. I'm sure that Chat GPT would have had 1,000 for you.
That's for the next one. I'm going to use Chat GPT.
So you had this laundry list of album titles, and then what made you decide to just keep it as a self-titled?
I really love the album art, and I didn't want anything to get in the way of that. And I think some of my favorite bands, their debut albums were self-titled, and I think it's a cool statement to make. Let people focus on our name first, get to know us, kind of like an introduction. That was kind of my thought process behind it.
No, I think that's cool, Alex. And what are some of the themes and directions that you want to go through with this debut full-length album?
Like themes that are in the album, or
did you kind of was there a concise theme that you guys were trying to stick with, or was hey, you know what, this is kind of our best material and we threw it all on one LP and this is us, Wakelee?
Yeah, I think I don't know, lyrically some of the themes are around just wanting to experience new things, being stuck at home. Not necessarily it's a quarantine record by any means. Some nostalgia aspects to it, just some frustrations. And then as far as musically, I think we record 15 or 16 songs and we cut it down to 12. And this was what we consider to be the 12 best tracks. We're really excited. We put so much time and effort into it, and even just announcing it today was such a great feeling.
Yeah, man, I'm beyond stoked for you, Alex. I think that's super, super cool. And so I know what we originally said spring. I mean, did you say a release date for that self-titled record?
April 14th.
Oh man, that's right around the corner.
It's right around the corner. You could, I guess they're supposed to be I'm gonna a little quick plug. You can pre-order it now at wakeleemusic.com.
Beautiful. Yeah. I think that is so badass. And when you guys were coming up with new music, writing, the lyrical content and the musical arrangement, what were some of the most challenging aspects of creating this record? Was it, were you guys recording this record in a basement in Brooklyn, or did you guys go to a professional studio? I mean, how did you guys all make this happen?
The most challenging thing was I think we sometimes we had a lot of time to sit on just some of the demos of the songs, and the more you sit with it, the more things you come up with. But then just the most difficult part was probably saying okay, it's done now. This is it. It's not getting any better. I'm probably just going to make it worse if I just keep messing with this. So just not that I'm a perfectionist, but I think leaning towards that, you could start just, never really finishing anything.
Alex, I haven't really heard an artist on Strike a Chord in a long time that says like I'm constantly revisiting my music. Like I'm never satisfied. Was that like a hard thing to kind of like pull the plug and go like, okay, enough's enough. It's good as it is.
Yeah, like once we had everything tracked, there was some moments where I was like, oh, like maybe I could have done this differently, maybe I could have done that differently. But yeah, it's just like that's where I really like rely on like being in a band. You have those other filters that help make those decisions. So if I'm indecisive about something, I could consult with David and Elliot, and they will kind of help, give me the confirmation bias that I need or don't need.
Badass. No, I think that's so cool. And I know we're actually going to be playing a visualizer from you. The music video is called There She Goes. Is that a track that's going to be on this debut LP, or is that just only for the EP?
That was just we released like a handful of singles. That was 2021.
Gotcha. So this was like kind of pandemic era, kind of like to tease like the fans about what Wakelee is all about.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's that one. It won't be on the album. I think the stuff on the albums, I like it way more than There She Goes. But that's like kind of the whole point, right? You're supposed to constantly be getting better. So
that's right. And let's take a journey back in time. We're going to be playing your music video right now on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, and this track is called There She Goes.
Let's do it.
That's already been made. You never hate, instead you settle for a subtle disdain. 100 days to the weekend. You packed your bags and you're up. Are you leaving again? There she goes. There's nothing else to say. Yeah, there she goes. Are we better off this way? When she finally leaves, I'll try to forget her. Then read all her signs and subliminal letters. Close it off if it's what you decide. Yeah, I'm playing the fool in a fool
good. That is Wakelee's single. You can actually find that on all streaming services. That track is called There She Goes. And Alex, we want to say thank you again for joining Strike a Chord, and remind your new fans, the CCS family, where they can pre-order your self-titled LP.
Yeah, thank you both for having me on. You can pre-order it at wakeleemusic.com. Comes out April 14th. We're very excited, and I think everybody's going to like it.
Hey, absolutely, Alex. I think you got something very special in store. And man, when the album drops, we got to talk, man. I'd love to dive even deeper with your music. Maybe a potential future Off the Fret music podcast episode might be in the works. I like it, Alex. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you again for joining the show, brother.